Companies and Intellectual Property Corporation has issued a notice for the PIC to retrieve the money from the IO deal. Yesterday, former PIC board member Dudu Hlatshwayo testified about the fear and distrust at the state-managed asset manager. She also told the PIC Commission that they were told to resign or face dismissal. Proceedings have adjourned for now. eNCA's Heidi Giokos has been tracking that story and joins us from our newsroom. And so, Heidi, let's start with that issue about resigning. We always ask this question: did this person resign or were they pushed? A few weeks ago, the story seemed to be that the board had resigned en masse, and then yesterday, Dudu Hlatshwayo suggested that actually we were told to resign. It seems there's been further testimony to that effect, and this time from the Deputy Finance Minister.
So, Tulas, what's important to note that on the 1st of February, the board sent a letter to the public as well as the Finance Minister to say that they are stepping down and this is a unanimous decision. We heard on Monday from Deputy Finance Minister Mondli Gungubelo, who's also the chairman of the PIC board, that they decided to take a step back because of the allegations levelled against PIC board members. But yesterday we heard from a former board member who was part of the 9 that resigned on the 1st of Feb that said that they were actually forced to resign or be fired. They were given an ultimatum: if they do not resign on that specific day, they will be fired 3 days later. That was completely different and contradicted what we heard from Mondli Gungubele. Then today at the Commission, the PIC Commission of Inquiry, we heard from the evidence leader that in fact Mondli Gungubele retracted and said that he actually admits that they were forced to resign. They were told by Finance Minister Tito Mboweni that they should reflect on the work that they've done and maybe it's in the best interest to resign. So that is quite a development, given the fact that he stood there at the Commission on Monday and he said that they took a unanimous decision to step back. And then when we heard from a former board member, Dudu Hlatshwayo, actually saying, no, we were told to resign. Then this morning, when he was asked by the evidence leader, he said, no, in actual fact, the Finance Minister said we must resign.
Yeah, it is huge. It is massive, this development. I mean, Mondli Gungubele, who is who sits there side by side with the Finance Minister, basically revealing that it was on Tito Mboweni's orders that they actually resigned. But we also heard from Sandra Beswick, who is a board member at the PIC. What has she been saying that seems to corroborate what Dudu Hlatshwayo has been saying about how the board interacted with and worked with the various ministers, finance ministers that came and went, and also the deputy finance ministers who, automatically become members of the PIC board and also chair it?
Yes, Tula. So we heard from Sandra Beswick today, who is part of the 9 that resigned on the 1st of Feb, and her testimony and evidence given to the Commission corroborates very much with Dudu Hlatshwayo. But what was very interesting that she, delved into was when Heidi Giokos, who was the Deputy Finance Minister at one stage, she said that when he was chair of the PIC board, meetings were done in a very competent manner and a very peaceful manner. And when Malusi Gigaba came in, things changed and meetings were brought to a complete standstill because he wanted to familiarize himself with the PIC and the way in which it operates. But also she spoke about how fears were exacerbated when Malusi Gigaba came in, because you must remember there was a stage between 2017 when there were a number of cabinet reshuffles and the finance ministers were changing, and then Malusi Gigaba became finance minister. But she was saying how there was a fear, and all these fears were exacerbated of possible state capture at the PIC, and this is what she had to say.
And firing of Finance Minister Mr. Pravin Gordhan and Deputy Finance Minister Mr. Jonas at the end of March 2017 was a cause of great concern for me, because the perceived risk of potential state capture of the PIC increased significantly. Because it was perceived that with the history of Mr. Buthelezi and Mr. Gigaba, that there was potential for the PIC, for state capture of the PIC. Also at the AGM, where Minister Gordhan was present as the shareholder representative, he warned us of state capture and asked us to be vigilant and diligent in our duties to protect the PIC.
And Heidi, the other person we've been hearing from is Jill Marcus. She's got some concerns about the workings of the board. What exactly are those concerns?
Well, Tulas, we heard on Monday when she asked Mondli Gungubele about how the board is basically working in limbo because they've resigned and they've been asked to work until the commission, until the finance minister rather appoints a new board. But she was saying that the PIC board is not functioning properly, and there's possibly implications because of this mass resignation, and these board members actually need to seek legal opinion to figure out whether or not that board can operate, given the fact that they've resigned and they've been asked to stand in until a new board has come in. So she raises a very good point about how the fact that the board is literally not coping, and it's in limbo stage. So she's advised all the board members to seek legal opinion on that matter.
All right, thank you so much for that. eNCA's Heidi Giokos watching the PIC inquiry. One of